Would you look at that? The first time I start making predictions for the Game Awards, and I'm kinda right. The Game Awards are just around the corner, and recently I made a video talking about who I thought would at least get nominated. Now, every category here deserves to be recognized. The countless hours and dedication that these people do to make some of our favorite games should be focused on, and award shows like these allow them to step into their deserved spotlight. Whether they're just nominated or actually win an award, they still get their recognition. Now that we have the list of official nominees, let's take a look and talk about who might win. Why is there a DLC here? Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree being up for Game of the Year. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, and honestly I don't care, but I don't think a DLC should be up for this kind of award, simply because it's not really a game in and of itself. You need to get the original base game in order to even use this DLC. Don't get me wrong, from what I hear, plenty of people love this DLC, but why is it up for an award like this when there are other, more original games? And because I can already sense the anger in the comments, remakes, I think, should count for this award. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, in all rights, a remake of the original Final Fantasy VII game. But I think there's times when remakes are allowed to go into this category, specifically with how it stands itself apart. This is the second part of this remake, and it has added a ton of different elements that make it stand out from the original game. I don't have a problem with remakes on this kind of list, but DLC? Really? Come on. It is cool to see an indie game up there though, always a win to see those. Overall, it's between two for me. I can see either my original guess of Final Fantasy VII winning, or Astrobot. Now, Astrobot is a wonderfully charming game, and is one that seems to be loved by everyone, but it's also a family game, and it's rare for family games to win the top spot. Final Fantasy VII is a more mature game, clearly, with much more to do and an incredible story, but it also sold less than Square Enix expected, which will be taken into consideration, I'm sure. It's a coin flip, but it's gonna be one of these two. Next up, Best Family Game. It's Astrobot. Guys, come on! 3 of the nominees are Nintendo, who'd have seen that coming? And the last nominee is The Plucky Squire. Cute game, but not something for the whole family, I would think. I said it in my last video, but Astrobot is the definition of a family game. Everyone can play it, it's easy to control, and it's just enjoyable from start to finish. Celebrating the history of PlayStation 2 also helps it stand out from the rest of these games. There's no competition here. Best debut indie games going to Balatro, or Balatro, I'm not really sure. Hi, it's Future Me, so I looked it up, and apparently someone's already asked the developer Local Thunk how to pronounce it, and he says to do whatever makes you happy. So, Balatro kind of comes more naturally for me, I'm sorry, so I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, enjoy the video. I have no idea why I didn't think of that in my last video, honestly. This year has been pretty good with indie games though, from Animal Well to UFO 50, but Balatro clearly sets a new standard. The one-person developer, who goes by the name of Local Thunk, made the game over a few weeks. In under 8 hours, it sold $1 million. The mobile port alone has made over $4 million. It's been winning awards left and right and received recognition from everyone in the indie community. Now, that isn't to say the other nominees aren't worth your time. For second place, I'd put either Pacific Drive or The Plucky Squire. Each of these games are fun and unique in their own way, which is something that I'm hoping we can bring over with us for the next year. I'm a bit upset that Harold Halibut didn't make the cut, but I get it too. There were a ton of good options to pick this year. But out of every category that I predicted, I don't think I did any better than with Best Adaptation. Sure, they didn't put Borderlands, which we knew they wouldn't, but they did put Knuckles, and I called it. Maybe I'll make a video in the future on this, but I think adaptations of games are starting to get better. Arcane Season 2, and Season 1 for that matter, are both incredible. Seriously, if there's one adaptation on this list that you haven't seen yet, go watch it. After you finish this video, which by the way, please subscribe, I'd love it if you did. Fallout also has a good chance of winning. It's mainly between these two that I would pick to win. Tomb Raider. No. Hey, you know what? Last time I said it was up to a coin flip. This one I think really is. Alright, looks like Arcane wins. Of the two, Arcane is definitely the one that almost anyone could watch. Fallout might be a bit more violent for some people, but it needs to do that in order to tell its story. As long as Knuckles doesn't win, we can all be happy. Alright, there's too many categories to go through like this, so let's speedrun the rest! Most anticipated game, Grand Theft Auto 6. Need I say more? The game's been memed on for years on not coming out, and now that it is, people are freaking out. Best Narrative, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's been nominated for a ton this year, but if it should win one award, it should be for the story that it tells. Either that or Best RPG, which it's also up for. Best Ongoing Game. Could be Final Fantasy XIV or Helldivers 2, but I'll give it to Helldivers. It was popular during the beginning of the year and kept that energy up for months after. Best Sports/Racing Game, F1 24. Look, I don't know much about sports, I'm gonna be honest, but my friends really like Formula 1 racing, so hope it wins. Content Creator of the Year, you guys, stop. Queso. And that's about it. At the end of the day, the Game Awards are going to cause some controversy. I mean, it already has, with some games being nominated where they should, and others not at all. But it's an award show. They bring up some incredible games we may have missed this year and showcase what's to come. I'll be sure to make a follow-up video talking about the awards, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Now, that's just what I think may win at this year's Game Awards, but what about you? What's your Game of the Year? Let me know in the comments. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video, and remember to chase the chaos.